Hi guys, the Tiff here. So as you all know, the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer came out yesterday. It's so good. It's so good. I saw it yesterday. I haven't stopped watching it since. It's really, really good. So we got the poster not so long back. So where there's a poster, there's a trailer, right? But the poster is super great. It's based on a Ramones poster, so like the music influence is already there. But it looks really, really cool. I mean, you've got all the elements in there from the trailer that are sort of hints and peeks at what's going to be in the movie. So Yondu's got his headpiece, which looks like a mohawk in the poster. It's really cool. Apparently we're getting some kind of heist for that. I know that Rocket and Groot are going to be playing like a bigger part in that section. That's going to be at the start of the movie. Obviously Groot being so small now is sort of suitable for the heist. I get the feeling like the very end shot of the trailer with Rocket like firing a hole through a wall and Groot kind of peeking out in his little adorable little jacket, little Ravager's jacket. It's so cute. I get the feeling like that's maybe going to be in the heist section for like Groot to climb through. But anyway, we're going to get that heist for the headpiece in the film, and that's in the poster. And we also get Nebula in the poster as well, who we see for a very brief instance in the trailer. She's in disguise, she's got like a hood on and they pull it off, so obviously she's going to be in there. But yeah, the trailer is really, really good. I feel like they've gone for definitely a different tone with the movie. Like as soon as it opens, you get a completely different feeling from what you got with the other movies' trailers, with the first movie's trailers. Which was obviously very lighthearted, kind of kooky. They've definitely gone for a darker tone, I feel, in this one. So as soon as Hooked on a Feeling, Blue Swede, 1973, comes on, you know that it's Guardians, right? I mean, as soon as that opens and you see the empty corridor of the Milano and everyone's like, oh my god, it's Guardians of the Galaxy, oh my god. You know what movie it is, but it's slightly different. You've got a different feeling. It's darker, it's tenser, everything is a little bit sort of muted. I mean, the music's muted, the cinematography is a little bit muted at points. And I think the empty corridor is a really clever opening shot for the trailer. Because what we had in the first trailer for the first movie was all of the Guardians strutting down that corridor, doing their own thing, picking their nose, adjusting their crotch, whatever. And it was a really funny moment because everyone was like, oh, these are different heroes to what we normally get. And now you have an empty corridor. Followed up by a joke. The spacesuits here for emergency use or for fun. I kind of feel like Rocket probably wrote that. And so, like, obviously, the joke, the humor is exactly the same as the first movie, but you've got something else in there. And I almost feel like maybe that's because where Civil War left us, obviously the Marvel Universe is in like a completely different state from where it started. It's a lot darker. The heroes are split apart. We found out about, Tony found out about his parents. Bucky is now back to being frozen, asleep, and Cap has given up the mantle. I mean, Steve Rogers is no longer Captain America from what we can tell. So the universe is in a bit of a mess, and the Guardians in Infinity War are going to be stepping right into that mess, and they're kind of going to have to adjust to that in this movie, I feel. I feel like the only thing, for example, in Civil War that didn't quite fit in the team was Ant-Man. And I feel like that's because they didn't do what Guardians is doing, which is setting him up for, meeting this darker world. He felt a little bit out of place. Ant-Man was kind of, he was great, but Paul Rudd's humor as Ant-Man is a little less mature than what Civil War really needed, I feel. So what they've got to do with Guardians, I think, is make them fit into Infinity War. They've got to maybe not definitely not change them, but absolutely they're gonna have to maybe mute it just a little bit so to make them fit. So I feel like that's what they're starting to do with this trailer. Maybe, you know, in the movie it's gonna be elements of darkness, I think. We got a lot more Gamora in the trailer. That's great. I love Gamora. I think she's a character with lots of potential. I feel like they didn't use her to her entire capacity in the first movie. But I feel like in this movie she's got a lot of scenes in the trailer, and of course with Thanos being a big part of it and Nebula being back, she's got kind of the emotional clout to really sort of thrive in this movie. Obviously Thanos killed her parents, turned her into a weapon, so she's got an axe to grind, right? She's got an axe to grind. I think that the most striking scene in the trailer is the moment with Rocket and Yondu. They're walking through like there's some kind of facility, obviously, and there are dudes falling everywhere, and I kind of get the feeling it's almost a little bit like the Prison Break in the first movie. I think obviously that's maybe the end of the heist scene that we've been told about. To be fair, I'm not worried about being told too much about the plot of Guardians 2, mostly because they do things in such interesting ways, such new ways, they're fun. I mean, I'm gonna go see the movie anyway, regardless of anything, and I think most people who saw the first movie are gonna be in the same boat. But I'm not too worried about being told too much about the plot, because, I mean, if I'd have known there was a prison break in the first movie, I wouldn't have been disappointed to have known that, because it was done in a way that I would never have imagined. Like, it's completely different to what I was expecting. And I feel like it's the same in this one. I feel like they've got a lot of tricks up their sleeve. They're going to be making this really fun. So, you know, I'm not too worried about how much the trailers really give away. I think that the humor is fantastic. Peter's looking good. Okay, I'm liking Chris Pratt's new haircut. That's cute. Not too sure about the scarf he's wearing at one point in the trailer. I'm kind of like, oh, okay. You do you, Peter. You do you. But yeah, the little moment that he has with Drax at the end of the trailer is really fantastic. I think there's a lot of humor that, you know, is in the first movie that's in the trailer. And also, you know, the characterization in that moment is really great. We've got Quill obviously still pining for Gamora. I'm kind of hoping they don't get together, because at the moment they work well as like a family unit. I think the family idea is really clever. And I get the feeling that if they start pairing Gamora up with Quill, things get messy. Gamora kind of needs to strike out on her own. She's not really got her own personality yet because she's been under Thanos for so long. And she, you know, needs to trust people before she starts, you know, jumping into bed with Quill. And I think Peter as well. I think Peter needs this sort of family unit. He needs a family. He doesn't need another girlfriend. You know, he needs a structure for him. You know, he lost his mom at a very young age, and that's literally only just got solved in the last movie. So he's got issues. You got issues, Quill. And you know, that's why I liked the scene with Drax so much in the trailer, because I think some of us forget that Drax was a father, right? He was a dad. And you kind of get that in the trailer when he's like, oh, you need a hug, and Quill's like, no, I don't, like a teenage boy. And you know, he gets a hug anyway. And I kind of feel like Drax could become sort of the father of this family unit, which would be really cool, because I mean, Quill's got two really shitty dads in this new movie. I mean, he's got Yondu, who's sort of been his dad, I guess, from growing up, and they've got an interesting relationship, and it's not gone well for either of them. I'm kind of interested to see how that develops with Yondu coming back, if he's gonna just completely use Quill as like a tool to get the headpiece back, or if it's gonna be he does that and then, well, he kind of misses Quill, or he you know, obviously we've got Quill's real dad coming back. Is there gonna be some tension between him and Yondu there? Because Yondu is the guy that's looked after Quill for a lot of his life, you know? I mean, I know that there's this whole, I stopped him from eating you thing, but at the same time, like, he has kind of raised Peter. And you've got Peter's dad, who's Kurt Russell in the new movie, which I think is excellent casting, because he's an 80s star, that was his era, and, he does have the kind of charisma to be Quill's dad. But anyway, you got him coming back, and, he's coming back into Quill's life. At the same time that Yondu's there, he's a bit of a jackass, is Peter's dad. So, he's got these two really shitty dads fighting over him in this movie. And then you've got Drax there, who is, genuinely a nice guy, good friend, who's saying to Quill, like, follow the advice and then I'm gonna give you a hug. Like, that's kind of nice. So I really liked that scene in the trailer. And also, like, it was a nice bit of filler. Like, we got the few things that were coming up in the movie sort of look forward to, and they were really quick snippets. So you got, Yondu's headpiece and the heist for that. You've got Nebula coming back. You've got more Gamora. And then you got sort of the scene here, which was just sort of filler, but it was nice. To see the humor is going to be the same, to see the characters have developed the dynamic that they had in the original movie. So it was nice. The only thing I noticed in that scene, though, that was a little off, did anyone think that the lighting was weird in that scene? I know it's a really small thing to pick up on, but the lighting was really, like, it was a lot of blue light, I think. A lot of blue light, very bright, for the Milano. And the Milano, to me, like, the last time we saw it was, there was Jackson Pollock style stains all over the walls, and it was a little bit grotty, and, we don't want to know. And in this one, it's kind of bright and sparkly, and I'm wondering if maybe that's because they rebuilt the Milano in the last movie, so we've got sort of a new Milano kicking around the galaxy. Maybe. It just seemed like, compared to the rest of the trailer, that was kind of shiny and new. But yeah, like I said, really small thing to pick up on. But as an overall trailer, it's fun, it's fast, it's got a new tone. And then obviously it ended with, the characters everybody wanted to see, Rocket and Groot. Groot is looking adorable, oh my god. I mean, he was the breakout star of the last movie. He's so endearing, he's so loving. And now that he's this tiny little ball of adorableness with his little jacket, and he just peeks out and sort of says hi at the end of the trailer. I thought that was really nice. So to be honest, really, really great trailer. Marvel seems to know that they can kick back and rest on their laurels here a little bit. Everyone's going to go see this movie anyway, and they kind of know that, so they can be a little bit cheeky. They can be sort of a little bit flippant, like with the poster, a little bit referential. And, people are going to love it. People are going to really like that. I really like that. I think, seeing Marvel have fun is something we don't always get to see with things like Civil War, which is a great movie, but it's dark. So yeah, pumped for this movie. April can't come soon enough. So it's coming out April 28th in the UK. I think it's May 5th in America. I could be completely wrong here. So obviously we've got a lot of time from now till then, which means more trailers, yay! So what I'm wanting on those trailers, what I would like to see, is I'd like to see some more music. I mean, obviously we got Hooked on a Feeling on this one because it's so instantly recognizable as Guardians, but that's very much Awesome Mix Volume 1, which is 70s music. It was the music that his mom made for him when he was younger. So you've got things, the 70s kind of music. But as we got Awesome Mix Volume 2 at the end of the movie, we're starting to get like a couple of 80s tracks at the end of the film. And I kind of feel like that should carry on through to the second movie, with Awesome Mix Volume 2 being the primary source of the soundtrack there. And I think that soundtrack idea is fantastic. It's kind of like how I felt the music should have maybe been tied in things like Suicide Squad, which had a really, really good soundtrack, and then It just kind of felt like a music video most of the time because it had no bearing on the story. But with Guardians, the music is such an integral part. I feel like the music should change, you know, with the new Awesome mix. So I'd like to see some new tunes. I'm placing bets on what music I think is going to be in the movie. I would like to see Africa by Toto, because that was released in 1982, and you know, I mean, it's kind of recognizable. It's got the same kind of beat that the Guardians song would have, so I'm placing bets on that. I'd also like to see in one of the new trailers, I think it's something everybody wants to see, Kurt Russell. Like, we want to see, you know, how he looks, how he acts, how he is in this movie. He's going to be an exciting character, so, you know, everybody wants to see Kurt Russell in the next trailer, I think. But I think obviously Marvel knows that, so they're holding off on it just a little bit. So yeah, those are my first initial thoughts on the trailer. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Go, you know, search it on YouTube. And if you've seen it for the 800th time today, go back, watch it for the 801st. And then come back here and comment below. What do you want to see in the next Guardian trailer? What do you think of the first one? And do you have any songs that you think should definitely be in the next movie? Alright then. It was nice talking to you guys. The Tiff out.